Let us pray. Almighty God, the creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our actions so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria in general and Lagos State in particular. Amen. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. You are all welcome to today's sitting. Let us go through the votes and proceedings of Monday, 29th October 2018. Honorable Tunde Brahma, please approach. Page 792. (793).
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Fellow members, good afternoon. On page 793, Mr. Speaker, item 5, under matter of urgent public importance, where Honorable Agumbiade reported the Operation Velvet that was to commence yesterday. It is reported here that on the 5th line, 1, 2, 3, that the police intends to carry out the operation with other sister law enforcement agencies. I'm not sure this was what was reported yesterday. And I think for the operations, I think it includes LSHA, VIS, and a few other agencies. I cannot remember the mention of FRSC, Civil Defense Corps, as part of what was said yesterday.
They did.
They did.
I can take your seat. They did.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. My Speaker, please, I remember I sent you a text concerning my not coming on time tomorrow.
You did not send me a text. You sent me a text after yesterday, so after the sitting.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
794. I have examined the votes and proceedings of Monday, 29th October 2018, and approval is here granted. Any message from the Governor?
Mr. Speaker, sir, distinguished honorable members, there is no message from the Governor.
Any other announcements?
Mr. Speaker, sir, no announcements.
Petitions?
None, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Matter of urgent public importance? None. Sorry, Honorable Markley.
Good afternoon, the Right Honorable Speaker and my colleagues. I want to bring to the notice of the House the torrential rainfall that occurred on Sunday, 28 October 2018, which has resulted into flooding of many parts of Lagos State. But more importantly, this torrential rainfall really affected my own local government, I mean Ojokoro SCDA, in which a life was lost in during the flooding, and many properties were being affected, and a lot of man hours were wasted to really get to their various place of abode. However, it is not new in Lagos State that we are having flooding due to the nature of Lagos State. I mean, the topography, that larger part of Lagos State land is being under the water. Aside that, the urbanization, the influx of people into Lagos State is a major contributing factor to that. And the climatic change, which has really brings about more rains than ever before. But what is more important here is the activities of the government agency to really work to abate all this annual or perennial flooding that will be affecting the lives and property of Lagosians. In my own area, we have some collector drains that if you go there, you will see that in terms of the volume, is very narrow. And also, some of the drains are outdated in nature. They are even collapsing. So all this one is giving way for the stormwater to overflow its banks and leading to destruction of people's property and more often lives. So I want to call the attention of the Lagos State government to, one, reactivate the Office of Drainage so that they can be more alive to their responsibilities by desilting all our major canals across the state. Two, to call the attention of our local government, I mean the councils, to really be working on the secondary drainage by desilting all these drains. Before now, when we have the Environmental Sanitation Day, they use this end of the month, Saturday, to desilt all our drains. But since the cancellation of this Environmental Sanitation Day, our local government has not been alive to their responsibilities. And lastly, the populace too, they should desist from pouring their waste into the drains whenever it rains. So these are what I really want to call the attention of the House and Legation to. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My colleague, good afternoon. While I commiserate with Honorable Makinde, Mr. Speaker, I will have this to say that for the past 1 year, we have not been alive to our responsibilities in terms of the silting of the drains. I begin to wonder what is the function of that arm of government that is saddled with that responsibility. And in addition to that, we discovered that many of the primary drainages we have, like System 2 and System 5, have not been completed. And it only bothers to the fact that even if we have secondary drains that will now take water to the primary drains, then how does it flow into the lagoon or the beaches? Because when it is blocked and they've not done a great job on that. So I don't think it will be out of place if you call on the Commissioner for the Environment to give us a progress report on these primary drains across the country, because we know that Lagos is below sea level. And in addition to that, the local government is supposed to complement what the state is doing in terms of the silting of secondary drains. However, Mr. Speaker, Lagosians should be alive to their responsibilities. When you look at what our people are doing in terms of how they treat the drains, whenever it rains, bulk of them will pour the debris into the primary drains, and I think this is what is coming back to us. The law on this should be effective at local government level. They should ensure that people comply with that and they don't put debris into the drains, because those are the issues that I think are affecting us, and is obviously going to affect our resources, our budget, in terms of maybe when there is airborne diseases. How do we take care of that? When people start missing, when they are being drawn, how do we take care of that? It's more important for us to be proactive. So we need to call on the local government, we need to call on the Ministry of the Environment, and more importantly, what is the agency that is saddled with the silting of our drains, that is drainage. What have they been doing for the past 1 year? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, colleagues. I also want to join Honorable Makinde in commenting about the drainage, the flooding in our state. But I come also with some information. They've talked about people not putting dirt in the drains, and the Office of Drainage should come alive to their responsibility. But I would like to inform this House that drain clearing is under Lagos State Public Works Corporation now. I got there, I don't know, I believe it was an executive order, even though there's a department in the Ministry of Environment which is supposed to take care of that, even though there's a law creating that department there to manage the drainage in Lagos State. But the drains are currently under Public Works Corporation, and if my data is correct, a contractor has been saddled, one contractor has been saddled with that responsibility of clearing the drains in the entire Lagos State. Yes, our people have been putting dirt in their gutters. We've been managing it for years. Yes, the rains have been falling for years, even though we've been told that more rain will fall. But there's a way we've been mitigating against this. We've been clearing our drains ahead and ensure that during the rainy season, drain dogs, all kinds of agencies are out there, especially the Office of Drainage, to clear this waste. But the current arrangement, I think it's something we need to look into. So I would want to support that we invite the Ministry of Environment and Public Works Corporation to come and explain to this House why our drains are not carrying the water we as expected. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to join my colleagues in commenting on the flooding that occurred about 3 days ago. In my own constituency, sir, a whole school was submerged. It's only what really saved the students where this thing occurred in the night. In fact, the Aboru waterway was overflowed the bridge, and the whole place, the whole building around the surroundings was submerged by the water. Mr. Speaker, the 7th Assembly, we reported here that a 500-year student was swept away by the same erosion. This year again, so many properties were lost, right away from Agege, flowing into Aboru, Aboru to Isalelu, Isalelu to Ilo, and the rest of it. This place, Mr. Speaker, if you remember that a standing committee of this House was saddled with the responsibility of investigating a contractor that handling the dredging of these waterways. Up till now, this waterway still remain the same. And apart from that, Mr. Speaker, I think it's better for us also to look at the condition by which this urban planning ministry, because I could not imagine, Mr. Speaker, that you see a sane man will build a house just near the water bank. There is a setback that you have to give to the water bank, but these people will just violate the procedure, and when this thing happens, they will be calling on the government. I think it's the best we can do is to make sure that we address this situation so that yearly we will just affect this disaster. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. As much as I commiserate with the people of Ojokoro and the family of the deceased, well, we have observed and we have said severally that the ministry, the MDAs need to live up to expectation. The silting that used to come before, during and after, has been abandoned. We must look for a way of getting back to that stage where we distill before rainy season, during the rainy season, and after rainy season. But this time around, it has been abandoned. Then the Ministry of Physical Planning too, for those who build on the waterways, they have put their eyes by the wayside. And most importantly, the ministry must learn to know that this house represents the majority of the people. When we see observation and we tell them, they must be ready to listen to us. Situation like this, in my own constituency, the Olubote area of 82 in Sade area, I have reported the perennial flooding in that area to the ministry over a year ago. I've written several letters. I've even told them to put it in the budget. But what would they do? They would do nothing, because the information suggestion is coming from the parliament. Until we learn to do what is right and doing it well, that is where we will solve all this problem. Mr. Speaker, we need to call this ministry to order so that they know that this parliament represents the majority of the people in Lagos State. And when we give them an advice, they must obey by it and abide by it. That is when all this problem will be cleared. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Makinde, can you give us your prayer?
Thank you, sir. One, to call on His Excellency Governor Akinwumi Ambode to reactivate the Office of Drainage Department to really come to be alive to their responsibility by districting all the major canals across the state. Two, to call on the Commissioner of Physical Planning and Urban Development to thoroughly visit all our major drainage outlets to see that all the illegal structures built within the setback of the canal are totally removed. And lastly, to mandate all the local government chairman and SCDs to inculcate the monthly clearing of secondary drainage across the local government in the state. I so moved. Thank you.
Honorable Tazi. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion as rightly moved by Honorable Makinde. All in favor say aye. Those against no. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, kindly do the needful. Personal explanation. Report. Majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Body, good afternoon. The item on the order paper is confirmation of the gubernatorial nominee, Mrs. Adesunbo Idiat Abolarin, for the position of the Auditor General of the local government. For we to Mr. Speaker, for we to take a visitors in the proceedings of the House, I wish to activate order 114 of the business rule so that the visitor can participate in our deliberation. So move, Mr. Speaker.
I rise to support the motion of the
All in favor say aye. Those against nay. The ayes have it. Good afternoon, and you are welcome to the plenary session of Lagos State House of Assembly. We received a letter from His Excellency Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, introducing you as its nominee for the post of Auditor General for Local Government. You know, we will call you, we will tell you when you have to speak. Fulfilling the provision of the Local Government Administration Law. It says the House must ratify your nomination, and that's why you've been called upon standing before the House. Can you please introduce yourself to the whole House?
Good afternoon, Honorable Speaker. Good afternoon, honorable members of the House. My name is Mrs. Adesumbo Idiat Abolarin. I was born on the 3rd of October 1961. I attended Lagos Municipal Primary School in Fadeyi. Thereafter, I proceeded for my secondary school in Victory High School. I finished in 1980, and thereafter, I proceeded to Lagos State Polytechnic, then College of Science and Technology. I had my OND in 1983. In 1984, I proceeded to Yaba College of Tech, where I obtained my HND in accounting in 1986. Then, I did my National Youth Service Corps with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. I finished in 1987. In 1991, I qualified as a chartered accountant. And in 2007, I became a fellow of the Institute. I joined the service of Lagos State in 1994, December, and I've worked in various, I joined local government at the service in 1994. I worked in various local governments before being moved into the mainstream in year 2006. And since then, I've been in the Office of Auditor General for Local Governments. I'm happily married with children. Thank you, sir.
You can have your seats.
Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, standing before you is the governor's nominee for the office of Auditor General for Local Government. If you have a question, I want to urge us to go straight to our questions. Honorable Naim.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You can take your seat.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I've gone through her profile and I've listened to her. She joined the Lagos State Local Government Service Commission in 2009, and she has spent, 1994, and she has spent over 20-something years in the service. She has served Lagos State meritoriously and dedicatedly. So I don't know, I want to appeal to you, sir, and my colleagues to please, with your kind permission, sir, that should be confirmed as the Auditor General for Local Government Service Commission. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Madam, you're welcome to the House of Assembly.
Thank you, sir.
In your opening introduction, you told us that you graduated in 1986 and served in 1987. But you started working in 1994 in the Local Government Service Commission. Between 1987 and 1994, there seems to be like a gap. Could you just fill us in on that? Thank you.
Pardon me, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam,
We may rise to speak since we just allow a stranger to participate.
Sir?
Mr. Speaker, my colleague, I don't know why we are here to give a nod to Mrs. Adesumbo Idiat Abolari's as a nominee of the governor, because according to the local government administration law, which Mr. Speaker just read out, in her resume, I think page 3 is not paginated, where you have March 6, 2018, appointed as Auditor General for local government since March. So why are we ratifying it in October if she has been on that seat since March as Auditor of local government, Auditor General? No, this is not acting. I'm talking about page 3. Appointed as Auditor General for local government since March 6, 2018. So, Madam, when you're Auditor General, then what are we trying to ratify or approve? I don't know. Maybe you have explanation for that. Thank you.
Honorable Osho.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, colleagues. Well, I just have an observation here, and I don't know if it's an error or a mistake. On page 2, career progression, the third to the end says promoted to the post of Assistant Chief Accountant, grade level 13, with effect from 1st of January 2001. Now the next one says promoted to the post of Chief Accountant, grade level 14, with effect from 1st January 2004. But the last one now says deployed into the mainstream civil service and regularized as Assistant Chief Accountant, grade level 13, in 2006. And again, the next one says to 14 again. I don't know. She was promoted and she was demoted. Was there any reason for the demotion or something? Maybe there was a mistake, or I just want to know that. Because from 2001, now in 2006, back to 13. Thank you.
Now you can respond to the question. Madam.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Between the period 1987, when I finished my service, and December 1994, pardon me, sir, I omitted that part. I worked with a firm of chartered accountants, A.B. Adepeju & Co., where I did my articleship till I qualified as a chartered accountant. On the issue of that page 2, I want the House to please pardon me. It must have been an omission. If we look at other pages, I refer to it as acting Auditor General.
Is there provision for acting in the law on which you have been nominated? Is there any provision for the acting capacity?
I refer to it as acting because I was actually waiting for the confirmation.
If you are
by
waiting, you
this
keep on waiting. You
House.
don't have to resume when there's nothing like acting, which means you have disregarded the provision of the law that states you should be nominated and confirmed by the House. If you are yet to be confirmed and you have started operating or operating in the acting capacity, you have resumed. So that is the question he has.
I was nominated, sir, and while on the seat, because maybe for the position for there not be a vacuum.
Are you the most senior officer in that agency?
I'm among the most senior.
Are you the most senior?
I'm not too sure.
So why do you have to be on the seat and act where you have not been confirmed? Which means it is not fact. There is no vacuum. That is, somebody there could be acting pending the confirmation will be made. That is the essence. So what we are saying in essence, a total respect must be given to every provision of the law. You cannot disregard one aspect of the law and embrace the other. Fine, you have appeared before the House to embrace the provision of the law that says you should be ratified or confirmed by the House. and disregard others that says you have to wait until confirmation. That is the point we are making. So there is no, reason to be acting when there's somebody, when there are others who are senior within the portfolio. Fine, within the same category, somebody can be nominated, but such person has to wait until confirmation has been made. While those who are ahead of him or her will continue to perform such tasks. That is the point he's making. That is the question he's asking. Yeah, go ahead. If you want
Maybe
to.
it's an oversight, sir. Pardon me, sir.
As she answered your question as you have asked, there is no more questions, so we can excuse her. Yes, Honorable Jude.
Sir, good afternoon, Speaker, dear colleagues. From her resume I have read, I think she's well qualified, sir, and based on her career progression as well, the first job she has in the system of local government, and she has been there for a while, and as a qualified chartered accountant, and she's also a professional taxman woman I have seen from her record here. So I think, left for me, sir, she's qualified. I'll give her my note. Thank you.
Honorable Abiru.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also want to attest that her CV is rich, but I will wish to ask, Madam, what is forensic audit? What is forensic audit? Thank you very much.
Can I talk now?
Honorable Sholaja.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my colleagues. But with the relevance question being asked and Mr. Speaker have been able to deal with, let me just say that I know Mrs. Abolani for some years, precisely 23 years ago. She worked with the local government, and she go through the rudeness of the local government in terms of somebody that have been an areas officer at the local government, and internal auditors of the local government, and council treasurer of the local government before they moved to the ministry of the local government. And precisely now been posted to the Auditor General's office, and have been working in the Auditor General diligently. Asked a relevant question relating to audit because of the third parties intervention. If we has a question relating to pictorial evidence in terms of the expenditure that have been incurred, in terms of expenses that have been incurred, and advise where it is necessary, and where you have failed to answer the question, you will now go straight to the query, and we will deal with the query. And I feel she merits the position. Thank you.
Honorable Fatai Majid.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Madam, as an auditor, is there any method that you intend to introduce to audit work to make your audit job more reliable for the public?
Honorable Council.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to just add by saying that we've had a look at your CV. We can see that you have quite a number of qualifications. But as if confirmed as Auditor General for the local government, what do you intend to bring to the table that is going to be new, that is going to add to the speed in which the audit exercise and the processes in the local government level is taken as fast as possible, so that it will be in line with the provisions of the law as stipulated, and of course the reports will be timely and in line with best practices. Thank you.
You can go ahead and answer the questions.
Thank you, sir. The question of forensic audit. Forensic audit is, in a simple manner, is an examination of records, examination and investigation of records, with the sole purpose of being used as evidence in court. And the other question that says, how will I make audits more reliable? To talk about a reliable audit, the auditee, the client, must have reliable database, which I intend to ensure is put in place. And then for auditors that will go and audit, they need to have necessary skill and training to ensure that they are more confident, they are bold enough, and they are able to do the job very well. I also intend to introduce, to ensure that the local governments are computerized, fully computerized, and also to ensure that the staff are competent in that line by doing more of e-audit. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you for coming. We have listened to you, but the area you've not been able to convince me is resuming before confirmation, because I don't think, as rightly observed by Honorable Lowe, there will be any need for the confirmation. Since when there is no confirmation, I wonder how long you will be able to stay in the office. We will get back to you after the end of the exercise. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I want to appreciate you for this opportunity given to me. Thank you very much.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The other item on the other paper is the business of the day, Mr. Speaker. No? You go ahead. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, I wish to, Mr. Speaker, a bill for the law to establish the Lagos State Mental Health Service and provide for the protection and care of persons suffering from mental disorder in Lagos State and for other connected matters should be read for the third time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Shalagua.
I rise to support the motion as moved by the Deputy Majority Leader.
All in favor say ayes. Those against nay. The ayes have it. Well, Mr. Clark.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable members, it is my honor to read for the third time a bill for a law to establish the Lagos State Mental Health Service and provide for the protection and care of persons suffering from mental disorder in Lagos State and for other connected matters. Thank you, sir.
A bill for a law to establish the Lagos State Mental Health Service to provide for the protection and care of mentally challenged persons suffering from substance abuse and for connected purposes. The Lagos State House of Assembly enacted as follows. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. 19. Twenty. 21. 22. 23. Page 24. Page 25. Honorable Kasumi.
Mr. Speaker, sorry to take you back. Page 23, sir. I just want to call our attention to a particular word there, which says well-being. It's without an iPhone. Section 63. At the end of the statement there, concerning the mental well-being. Well-being is supposed to have hyphen. Well-being of the children.
Page 26. Page 27. Page 28. Twenty-nine. Page 30. That a bill for a law to establish Lagos State Mental Research Service to provide for the protection and care of mentally challenged persons suffering from substance abuse and for connected purposes be passed into law. All in favor say ayes. Those against nay, the ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, kindly do the needful by sending the clean copy to His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, for his access. Thank you.
Colleagues, after due consultation with the Right Honorable Speaker, I have his permission, and after exhausting the item on the other paper, I wish to move today's sitting till Monday, 5th day of November at 12 noon. I so move.
Honorable Victor Akone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion as moved.
All in favor say ayes. Those against nay, the ayes have it. There will be a short meeting immediately after sitting, where this House stands adjourned to Monday, 5th of November 2018 at 12 noon prompt. I rise.